being able to contribute and build is by far more interesting than joining something that's already been established. One of the exciting things about the advanced pharmaceutical manufacturing industry, this cluster that's being groomed and grown here in this region, is that it's just starting. The excitement of the new ideas and the ways in which to do business is happening every day here in the Richmond-Petersburg region.
During the pandemic, members of our coalition in the greater Richmond and Petersburg market recognized that there was a critical shortage of essential medicines in the U.S. and the need to reshore the making of those medicines. And that is a key factor in what we are working on here in our market.
It's an exciting time in this region because we have all of these companies that are touching different parts of the pharmaceutical ecosystem. And then we've created a coalition that's creating a workforce and attracting other companies to the region. So we're really working together to build up the pharmaceutical sector in this part of the state.
It's been an honor and a privilege to be able to have this coalition of groups, whether they're economic development groups, service organizations, community colleges, and other universities, as well as other public and private companies coming together through a common cause to try to work in solving this critical national public health security issue.
Those collaborations have been able to create what we call the Alliance for Building Better Medicine.
There's a great desire to actually build this industry here in Virginia.
Virginia is rich for business, and this is an incredible opportunity to expand on an industry like pharmaceuticals. What's happening in Petersburg is one of the most exciting things I think happening in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Over $500 million in federal grants have been applied to that area, close to $1 billion when you factor in private investment, public investment, federal and state investment.
You want to be part of a remarkable team and be part of a whole change of a culture of a region. This is the place to be.
It takes a village. There are so many people involved, and the reshoring of activities, it cuts across sectors and organizations and components of our economy that you wouldn't even think of.
I want to bring the collaboration at the community, the grassroots level. And I think that we have to operate at both levels and even in between to bring that and build that awareness of the opportunities for this region.
The Alliance has really shown me what is possible when education, training, economic and workforce development, localities and business and industry with vision come together.
The way that we prepare a workforce pipeline for biotechnology and pharmaceutical manufacturing in the region is we offer training programs that are sector-led. And by sector-led, that means that we've met with employers and we continue to meet with employers, and they tell us the competencies they need in their employees. And then we build academic programs that develop those competencies for the future workforce.
It connects academic institutions with the companies that put themselves here physically, and this is the cluster.
We have the structure and facilities in place that allow our researchers to develop manufacturing insights that allow us to breathe new life into new and existing manufacturing processes.
All of the work that we're doing here in Central Virginia, it's having an impact on the country as a whole and also internationally with regards to other areas of the world.
Any company that's looking to expand in the life sciences industry would want to consider Virginia as their home. I think that Virginia has a unique opportunity to make a global impact in the life sciences region, and the collaborative suite of companies that are here are already doing that work, and more that join us, we can only make that impact a little bit greater.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us for the Alliance for Building Better Medicine Supply Chain Webinar Information Series. The series will explore and inform the audience about the growing advanced pharmaceutical manufacturing and biotech ecosystem developing in the Richmond-Petersburg, Virginia region. My name is Vanessa Womack, and I am the Inclusive Community Development Consultant for the Alliance. This webinar will explore workforce development through key partners that support the Alliance's efforts. I will note that a separate webinar will delve into educational pathways. Our guests are Drexel Harris, Senior Advisor, Pharmaceutical Manufacturing Program Learning and Student Success at Brightpoint Community College in Chester, Virginia, and Dana Newcomer, Associate Vice President, Senior Strategies and Programs, Community College Workforce Alliance, a division of Brightpoint and Reynolds Community Colleges. Welcome, Dana and Drexel. Let's get started. Dana, what is CCWA's role in workforce development in preparing the talent for the advanced pharmaceutical manufacturing and biotech industry in Petersburg and Richmond?
CCWA's role is to develop a pipeline of a skilled workforce to be able to meet the needs of the pharmaceutical manufacturing positions that are open. We focus more on the foundational levels, the more like the entry-level type positions, and we have worked closely with the Virginia Manufacturers Association as well as with our local employers in order to develop a certification program that is short-term, flexible, and is approved and supported by the industry.
Thank you so much. Drexel, what is your role at Brightpoint's workforce development for the APM?
Okay, so as a senior advisor for the pharmaceutical manufacturing program, my role is to kind of manage the program from the grant perspective, but also from the outreach to help inform the community about the opportunities that we have at the college and at CCWA, and then to get them enrolled and then to work with the companies that would potentially hire these folks to understand what their requirements are, to make sure that they're engaging the students as appropriately, and then to make sure those students are prepared for the interview and the job process.
I'm going to interject here because something just came to my mind that as we're talking about the APM and the companies, I think we need to just make a reference to who they are. So Drexel, I know you've been working with what we call the prime pharmaceutical manufacturers. So could you just tell us what those names are?
Okay, so the first one that we are working with is Civica, and just a brief explanation of what they do. They do final formulation of medications that is used in the body by people based on what their needs are. Another one is Flow. They are primarily a API, company that is providing the raw materials that Civica use to produce their medication. And then the last one is Ampeg, which is another API company, and they provide raw materials for Civica for the final formulation. Those are the three main ones. There are several other companies around, Haleon, PPD, and others who our graduates are finding jobs at also.
Very good. And that leads into the next question, and either or both of you can answer this. What types or examples of jobs that are currently available?
Well, the positions that we have designed our programs around are the machine operators, the machine and process technicians, quality assurance and quality control assistants. Those are the main ones. Drexel,
those are the main ones. Operators, technicians, as you said, QA, QC, shop floor assistants, a lot of the entry-level jobs that folks can go into, which can grow into other roles within the organization. But
yeah, we focus on the API and continuous manufacturing of pharmaceutical manufacturing.
Okay, very good. So what are the future of these jobs? What do you see these jobs are in the future? What do you anticipate?
Well, I believe that with the growth that we're going to have, that we're already seeing, there's a lot of companies coming in that are interested in the area. And with the expanded knowledge and skills that the workforce is now going to have, I believe that we're going to have a growth in R&D, and then we're also going to need to focus a lot more on supply chain demand, because that's going to change with it being focused more in the United States. And then potentially the regulation compliance, get specialists or positions within that area.
Most of the jobs that our folks are getting are entry level, but there are some who come with previous experience that are filling supervisor and manager type role. But I see the growth as the entry level jobs will always be there. But we have pathways and partnerships for those who want to get associate's degree and bachelor's degrees and even master's and PhD. So I see the growth as these folks come in, that they're going to be able to grow within those companies, but also that we'll be able to bring new folks in. And again, it's key if we get more pharmaceutical companies to come to this area, there's going to be expanded opportunities for folks to work in this industry.
What skills and education are required for these jobs? For instance, what are they learning in the classroom to take into those entry-level positions?
So at Brightpoint, the program is a 18 credit, 2-semester program, and they learn the fundamentals of what manufacturing is in the pharmaceutical industry. They learn how to use the equipment, they learn the terminology, they learn SOPs, procedures, and so they have an entry level basic understanding of the industry. Once they get to the industry will train them to do the particular jobs that they want it done. When they come out, so you don't know the skill level. They need either a certification or some type of initial training. But initially, they don't have to have any experience in this field. The two programs that we have will get them from not even knowing about the field to being ready to step into one of these jobs and continue there. So that's from the Brightpoint CSC side. Maybe Dana could talk about the CCWA.
Yeah, so we definitely make them more qualified and more successful at continuing in the career as well, because they're fully prepared to enter into that career. So on the certification side, we focus on not only the pharmaceutical manufacturing specific content, but also the technical side that they're learning about the machines and the systems that go along with it. So on the pharmaceutical side, we focus on the API, the continual processing, visual inspection, FDA regulations, the good manufacturing processes, good documentation processes. So obviously we cover all those areas. But then on the technical side, we also teach them subjects such as valves, and then the machine interfacing, troubleshooting, electrical to mechanical. So we cover all the technical side as well, so that they are prepared to be those machine operators, machine technicians. So not only can they operate, but they can adjust the machines, they can fix the machines, while in the pharmaceutical manufacturing setting. Our certification is about 4 months long, and the students finish up with 3 certifications. We have the manufacturing specialist, the ChemMT, which is a chemical manufacturing technician certification, as well as the pharmaceutical manufacturing certification as well, which we call the PharmMT.
Great. Well, this is exciting.
Can
yes, go
I
ahead,
add
Drexel.
one thing? So I'll tell you what they don't need, right? Okay, so they don't have to worry about having a bachelor's degree. They don't have to worry about having a master's degree or even an associate degree. Ideally, they would have a high school diploma or a GED, and we can take them from that point and move them on. So do they have to have experience in the industry? No. But all those things are plus. If they have experience in a manufacturing environment, if they have a bachelor's degree and associate degree, and we do have folks who are coming through the program who have associate degree, who have bachelor's degree, and some who have master's degree. So all those are plus, and that will obviously affect what type of roles they can apply for. It would enhance the different type of roles.
And to piggyback off of what Drexel is saying, that means an individual can come into pharmaceutical manufacturing at almost any level. They can come in from the high schools who are now starting to look at manufacturing as part of their curriculum. They can come in with a certification simply by a 4-month program. They can go further with that associates and with that bachelor's, which means it's all different levels of the industry itself, meaning we're strengthening the workforce from bottom up.
That's exciting. I'm getting excited just listening to you two talk about it. And Definitely, I think this information that's going out to a listening audience will encourage them to look at these types of, I say pivots, because most, especially high school, even young adults, even older adults, there is no age limit to be into or get into these programs.
One thing I like to talk about, based on what she said too, it's like a freeway, right? You can come on at different places, high school, associate's degree, bachelor's degree, into these programs, and you can get off where you want to. So many of our folks are getting off going into the workforce. But if they decide they want to go on and continue their education, they can get an associate's degree, they can get a bachelor's degree. So it's the on-ramp, you come on where you are, and then you get off where you need to in order to do what you're trying to do.
Or they could do a U-turn and do just a career switch.
You've got all the ramps and avenues and streets covered. Thank you. Let's go on to this next question, which is about the Alliance and the funding that has been received. The Alliance received significant funding from federal and state sources, and a vital part of the federal funding is meeting or establishing criteria that address inclusion and reach underrepresented communities, veterans, and rural areas. How are you meeting these deliverables?
I like to jump in on this one because I'm really proud of this, really proud of this. We measure and we look at the demographics. And so in most areas, we are doing well. And I'll talk about the two areas that we need to improve. But now women, over 50%, probably approaching 75% of the folks going through the program are women. Minorities or people of color, they call it BIPOC, but minorities, over 50%, approaching 75% of the people going through the program are minorities. Those are the ones we are knocking out of the ballpark, and I think that was a focus of the grant and a focus of the community college and CCWA in general, is to reach those underserved communities. The places where we need to do better, and we're working on it, is rural, because transportation becomes an issue for some of the folks going through the program. And with both programs, there's a significant hands-on portion, right? So you can't really do the training remote. They have to come on campus. So we need to figure out how to address that, the transportation issue. And I'll come back and maybe Dana could talk about the mobile lab, how you can address that. The other issue is, the veterans, right? We have a huge military base, Fort Grand Adams, which is right in our backyard. There are veterans who are already out, people who are transitioning out, and then the dependents. I think we can do better with that. We do have some veterans that are in the program that are going through the training and have graduated, but there's a huge opportunity there to increase that.
I saw a mobile education unit at a recent event. Is that one of your successes?
So we have a mobile flex lab that we had developed specifically for this program as well as for outreach. So it focuses on, not only pharmaceutical manufacturing, but it's manufacturing and trades, as well as being able to do the outreach with it. So what we can do is we are able to take this mobile flex lab to locations. So let's say Civica needs training on site. We're able to bring some of those more travel-sized equipment that we have. So we do have table-sized training devices that we would put in the lab and take it to them. If we have an underserved community that is unable to reach us, certain equipment we can take to them and do that training with them. The other piece of it that we can use for outreach is, again, reaching those communities that struggle to get to us. We bring it to them. We can help them with enrollment, so we can help just educate them on what pharmaceutical manufacturing is by taking this mobile flex lab to events and to the community and to our partners. And the great thing about it is it's designed like a classroom. And when we say flex, that means that the tables and the equipment that we have can move, and we can put whatever we want inside of it. And it has a large sealed LCD display TV, has Wi-Fi, set up that we can travel.
So you're meeting the people where they are, and that is very important to do that kind of outreach to, communicate and inform people what's going on around them.
Yeah, we've just started taking it out because it was quite an endeavor to get it. So we just started taking it out. We've been to churches, to Hopewell's Made in the event Made in Hopewell. Recently, we were there. We've taken it to the high schools as well as our own college events. Being able to just showcase it for that community.
And you mentioned something about going to where the people are and taking it to them. The Petersburg Resource Center, which CCWA has acquired, which is available for use for Brightpoint and CCWA, we go there once a week to specifically recruit for the pharmaceutical manufacturing. So that is an example of going within the community. And we also go to the Petersburg Library once a week also to catch people as they're coming by. We're going everywhere there are people, right? We're going to events, community events,
and the food banks,
festivals, food banks. So I'm going to Brunswick this weekend to address the rural, okay, to try to inform and educate them about the program, and then hopefully get some folks who enroll in it from the rural area.
So we've also have done some targeted marketing. So we've put up billboards to be able to educate the public regarding what pharmaceutical manufacturing is and that it's coming here. We've also done bus wraps, and which is focused around that Petersburg location as well. And we have been doing the veteran outreach. We go to their transitional assistance programs to be able to promote there. We do have classes. We have manufacturing technician classes that can, when students take those programs, they can test out of a part of our pharmaceutical manufacturing, our Pharma MT program. They can test out a part of that, so they just have to finish the pharmaceutical piece of it. We're working on that.
And I can't go on Facebook or LinkedIn without seeing some ad about the pharmaceutical. So we're doing digital social media ads too. So I'm seeing it, and even during the presidential election, I hear them talking about insulin prices, reducing that, and talking about bringing manufacturing back. And so it just kind of makes me smile that I'm a part of that, what they're talking about. Yeah.
One last thing is dealing with financial assistance for those individuals who are Virginia residents, lived here for at least a year, the last 12 months. They qualify for funding. And if they are low to moderate income, they are able to essentially get their training for free or lower cost.
As we begin wrapping up, I do want to get some words of encouragement, wisdom from both of you to share with our audience to inspire them to seek careers in STEM, because this is what you're talking about: science, technology, engineering, and math. So could you just share with us from both your perspectives some encouragement, because we're going to reach a really wide audience with these information webinars.
The one thing I'll say is that we have several students who have gotten jobs in the industry, and we call them success stories, and we talk to them. And the thing I would say to anybody considering this industry, you don't have to know anything about it to come in. We will prepare you. We'll get you there. And most of them, they didn't even know the industry existed. They didn't know the type of jobs was there. But once they engaged us, they contacted the college, contacted CCWA, they talked to the career coaches, the outreach coordinators, and they got excited about it. And when they walk out, they are in a career that is different than, nothing against Walmart, nothing against fast food, but it's a career, and that they're making a difference, okay? They're helping, many of them have family members that have that use insulin, right? And insulin is one of the main products that's going to be produced. They have family members. They know the cost of it. They know the impact. They know that's life-saving. They know that it needs to be quality. So they feel that they're now giving back to the community along with learning a new career path. So if you don't know anything about the industry, you don't know anything about the career, reach out to us at Brightpoint or CCWA, and we can inform you and see which program is the best one for you.
I used to be a STEM educator way back in the day. And I had found, and I still find today with our current students, that people are are afraid of math. And anytime you mention that a program will have math in it, they'll shy away from it. Whether the individual thinks that they weren't very good at math when they were in high school, or if they haven't had math for 30 years, what I need them to know is that math is just one of those 4 letters. And we at Brightpoint and at CCWA, as Drexel just said, we will get you there. Don't be afraid of it. There's all different levels of math that you'll need depending on the career path that you choose. The Pharma MT, we need algebra. We will teach you algebra. We will get you there. If you want to learn it and you want to be in this field, you'll learn it. The thing to keep in mind also is to be patient with yourself because it's going to be worth it. These STEM careers, you get to use your curiosity. You get to create things. And the greatest thing is you actually grow in your career simply by asking why. So take that first step. Get into STEM, and you're going to notice that without the STEM career and industry, our lives would not be the way they are today.
We haven't talked about Reynolds, and Reynolds is a part of this also. Reynolds just launched a biotech program, which includes a bridge program and includes, I think, 3 tracks for their students to continue with an associate's degree, and they're working closely with Virginia Commonwealth University in order to have a pathway for those who want to get that career. But the bridge program is the part that I want to talk about. Reynolds has a bridge program that is for people entering into the program before they enter it to make sure that they're successful through the rigors of the college curriculum. We just completed another bridge program for Brightpoint and CCWA, so tied to the STEM part. So if you identify that this is an area that you might need some extra help, then we have resources and modules that are available for folks who might need that extra help to ensure that we get the 80% retention rate, at least 80%, through the program. And we're right now at 80%, but we want to get higher than that. So the bridge program be for those who need that extra assistance.
This concludes the interview. We will proceed to Q&A.
We're going to bring our guests on live. We have Dana Newcomer and Drexel Harris. Thank you so much for providing that pre-recorded interview to give us so much information. So let's go ahead and get started because we have a couple of questions already in the chat. And the first question is, will there be an open house or other sessions for the public to visit and learn more on campus? And whoever wants to take that, go ahead. Will there be an open house or other sessions for the public to visit and learn more on campus?
I feel like I've been giving so many tours. Are we sure the public hasn't come yet? I know we've been giving lots of tours to the schools and to a lot of our partner organizations so that they're familiar with our programming, as well as government officials and so forth. We actually didn't have one planned, at least on CWA side. Drexel.
Yeah. So that's a good question. And you're thinking what we're thinking. We have the Petersburg Resource Center, and which is when it first opened, it was a kind of like an opening to that. I've been talking to people down there that we need to probably do that again at the Resource Center in Petersburg. But as Dana say, we give tours all the time, and we do groups. And if individuals want to come by and find out more, I have in the room with me 2 outreach coordinators, and they can sit down and tell you everything about the program, the training opportunity, the financing, and the academic part of it. So if anyone would like to come, just reach out to me, and I can be the triage point, and we can get you in to take a look at the program. If you have anybody who's interested, give them our name, and one of these young ladies will definitely reach out to them and find out what they need. If they need to come by and see and talk, we can do that.
So why don't you put your information in the chat, please?
Okay.
But I did write on my notebook, open house for pharma. So I have put it on my list of what we're doing next. And as soon as we put one together, I'll let you all know.
Okay, very good. So Drexel, if you want to put in your contact information, Dana, if you want to put in your contact information, of course I have it, so people can reach out to me, Vanessa at buildingbettermedicine.com or Vanessa at Activation Capital or Vanessa, just reach out to me. Okay, the next question is, what is, and this is from Monica, what is the location and time you will be in? Oh, okay. She's picking up on your comment about being in Brunswick. And let me just let you know, Monica, that this was a pre-recorded interview because we didn't want any glitches in the actual interview. But yes, Drexel was in Brunswick County and he will come back, right, Drexel?
That is correct. I was there actually twice. I went, and Vanessa, you had us down there to the Jazz Festival, and we got a lot of great contact and shared information there. And then one of the young ladies went with me to the Taste of Brunswick, a huge event down there. And I've been talking with some of the elected officials, and we're open to go down anytime and talk to people and explain to them what we can do. Maybe we can take the mobile lab, the flex lab down there to another event. So yes.
Okay, moving right along, I gotta have a question. Will you all be open to partnering with a transportation business? You see that in the chat, to help with the rural students to get on campus? Great question, Q3784, great question. And please reach out. Dana?
We are open to partner with everyone and anyone who wants to support our initiative. So yes, and actually, I know the college has been working with different organizations trying to help with that transportation piece, and a lot of it goes through our career coaches or different support staff that we have on the college to be able to help those individuals when we find out that there's a need for it. Getting a larger group here is where, yes, we'd love to be able to partner to be able to get, if we know there's a specific amount of individuals coming from a specific location, being able to bring them in, having that kind of partnership would be amazing.
That sounds great.
I'll just add on that. I'm working with the Capital Region Workforce Development Board, and organizations like that and others, they have funds that can help people with transportation. And I know we did partner with the Capital Region where we provided some training and working on using some of their resources to make sure people can get to campus for the on hands part that they need to come to campus. So we're willing and ready to partner with anybody to help with the transportation issue.
And that's what this is all about, partnership and collaboration and moving the region forward. And the next question, how many students can be trained at one time, all the learning at a time, once all the learning programs are running at full speed? You see that question, how many students can be trained once you're up to full speed?
So I'll start, and then Dana can add to it too. On the Brightpoint side, we try to limit the classes to no more than 16 people. So typically we are having between 8 to 16 people in a class. We at the Brightpoint side work on a semester basis. So there's spring, summer, and fall. And currently for the last 2 years, we've been running all 3 of those semesters. So we can get up to 48 people per semester. I'll say we are working on additional training space, working with one of the partners, Civica. So when that comes online, we'll be able to triple that capacity to train people. Dana, since CCWA doesn't work with maybe you can talk about the capacity there.
So CCWA, since we're non-credit, we do not work on, as Drexel was about to say, we don't run on a semester schedule. We do more of a rolling start for all of our classes. We provide classes whenever it's needed, whether it's by industry's request or by the student's request. So, and our class size can be a lot larger. So we usually run classes anywhere between 8 to 24, but we've had classes up to 40 before because one of our strong relationships with military, they like to have large classes. So it's in that, and we can have day and evening classes. We do find that our evening classes run more often than our day classes due to most students having some other type of job that they're currently in.
I'll just throw in Reynolds also. Reynolds started this fall their biotech pharmaceutical program, and they currently have 17 people in their first cohort. So I imagine, not to speak necessarily for them, but I imagine their class size and their semester arrangement is similar to what Brightpoint is doing.
Okay. I want to ask the participants, I know that maybe a couple of you may be in a room with other folks. So if you have an audience or you're not alone on this Zoom, I'm going to ask if you can put the number of people who are with you in your space participating in this Zoom, to put that number in the chat. It would greatly help us as we gather data. Everybody needs data now. Wonderful. Thank you, Quintal, and thank you. So this would help us because these webinars are gaining such traction. Our last webinar with the EDOs, I'm going to tell you, it had international, when I say international, other countries were tuning in. So we are growing this region, and the best way to do it is by education, building awareness, and these webinar series are a particularly great part to do that. And as I'm talking, there will be a survey that will pop up very shortly. I'm asking you to please provide a very quick very quick survey. And I've also put in the chat the next two webinars. Next week, the 21st, is the Educational Pathways webinar. As I mentioned in the recorded video, that there would be other webinars. The Educational Pathways is next week, and then on January 28th is the Supply Chain and Entrepreneurship. So you don't want to miss those two that are coming up in the next couple of weeks. The survey will pop up, and while that's popping up and you're taking the survey, Drexel wants to add a quick comment on with an update on AMPAC. AMPAC is one of the pharmaceutical manufacturing companies that was mentioned in the information video. So Drexel, if you please. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So we mentioned three main companies that are here. There are others, but Civica, Flow, and AMPAC. At the time of this recording, that was the case. And we also talked about we need more manufacturing. We want, and we're attracting more manufacturing companies to come to the area. And so with AMPAC, that facility in Petersburg, since that time, has been acquired by Novo Nordisk. Novo Nordisk is a huge pharmaceutical manufacturing company. I'm not an expert on all they're gonna do and plan to do, but we do have a meeting scheduled with them next week where we're gonna talk about our training capabilities, find out what their workforce needs are, and partnerships that they're looking forward to. Novo Nordisk is meeting with us. They're meeting with some of the economic development or the governmental folks. So they're going through their rounds now. And we see that as a huge plus for the area. And we're glad to have them come and join. So I just wanted to, the physical location is the same as AMPAC plant in Petersburg. And then more to come on what Novo Nordisk plans to do with that.
Very good. As we begin to wrap up, if you have any last questions, please pop them in or unmute your mic if you need to. But we want to give the next couple of minutes for any lasting questions. And also if you can put in the number of people who are in the room with you. And please look for an invitation for next week's educational pathways, and then the following week for supply chain and entrepreneurship. The other thing, let's see, what else can we say before we wrap up here, Drexel and Dana?
I'll just say the area, the pharmaceutical manufacturing industry is growing. And part of our discussion with Novo Nordisk is we know when they come to this area, and we're talking about these two specific training programs, but they have other workforce needs also. Both CCWA and Brightpoint have many programs that can help satisfy those needs too. So if you're a person or you know a person who's looking for a way to get into this industry, not all of the jobs require you to go through the pharmaceutical manufacturing certification or the CSC or Reynolds. There are other programs that you can come to Reynolds, CCWA, and Brightpoint and prepare yourself for a role in those industries. So come talk to us. Let us know what you're interested in, what you want to do, and we can see if we can help prepare you for that.
Very good. And I thank you, and it's been a pleasure to work with both of you. Anything else you'd like to say, Dana?
Just that, to make this huge initiative to be successful, it is definitely a group effort, and it's a large group. And just keep in mind that we're working together. So if it's even if we're not in the same industry, such as education or economic development or whatever the case is, that anytime you think that we could be of an assistance to help grow the pharmaceutical manufacturing initiative within the region or even the state, just feel free to reach out to us. We're more than happy to support it.
Well, thank you very much. Any last comments from our participants or attendees? We really hope that this information was informative and that you will continue to join us for the rest of the series. With that, I'm going to say Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.